It's so wonderful to have you, first of all. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here, having this conversation, which was due for past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I know you in lots of ways. I know you educate people. I know you are into mindfulness. I know you are a speaker. You are a person who does yoga and shows how people how to do yoga. That is what I know. How about you describe yourself and tell us and the listeners what you are all about?
Okay, hello everyone. I am 𝑪𝑶𝑫𝑬, the only female laughter coach in the whole world who conducts 100 types of laughter exercises. I speak at conferences, community clubs, schools, colleges, universities to create awareness about how to reprogram brain for better mental health, happiness, and success. A former principal who managed international preschools in Singapore for many years, felt very stagnant, resigned, and became the motivational speaker, life coach, and empowerment coach. Yay!
Wonderful. That's so awesome. Such a wonderful, vibrant person we have in you today. How has the present scenario, I know you're inclined to positivity. How has COVID-19 impacted your surroundings? What are you observing?
When it comes to personal, how it has had impact on me personally, I am unable to see my students. I monitor a preschool program and a third language program where students have taken Hindi as their third language. So I monitor that program. So I am unable to see my students and teachers physically. But we have switched to online learning, so I am still conducting my Zoom briefing sessions with them, and my teachers are then imparting knowledge and giving assignments based on home-based learning to their students. So I am still able to do the monitoring and controlling part of controlling, as in like monitoring the program and having that control over the whole program through online based meetings and briefings. So that's manageable. So I'm not able to see them personally. That's one of it. Secondly, I do conduct adult classes for foreigners, those who are from other countries. I do conduct Hindi classes for them. So though I'm unable to see them in person as well. So I will be starting that program as soon as we have this COVID-19 situation in control. So I'm not able to see them in person as well. I do keep connected with them, stay connected with them through WhatsApp chats, and as and when we can do Zoom meetings and stuff. But yeah, thirdly, I was putting my exercise always, I was not able to exercise due to the busy schedule. So now I have got time to exercise. So in Singapore, our political leaders are encouraging citizens to go out and exercise. Of course, they need to maintain practice social distancing and have at least 10-meter distance if you're running. If you're running, walking, jogging, just brisk walking, you can have like at least 2 meters or 3-meter distance to be safe. But for running, it has to be 10 meters. So when I went on jogging track 2 days back, I realized there are lots of people. When you are running and someone comes from the front and there are little children on their scooters, so I was not able to maintain 10 meters distance. So then I decided not to go on the jogging track, and I explored and found a nice, huge car park rooftop, multi-storied car park rooftop. So I started exercising. I had started exercising, which is good. Yeah. So personally, I'm not very affected. I'm able to professionally, I'm conducting virtual coaching, so it's still manageable. So I would say I'm doing good. Yeah.
That's good to know that you're safe and you're practicing the health advisory and still getting the work done. You're in your professional space and your personal space. How are you structuring your day? Do you still follow the same routine, or have you changed it in any way?
No, really, it's pretty much relaxed. Like you don't need to wake up early to rush, do this, do that. It's like some very laid back, relaxed kind of setting where when you want to wake up, you wake up. When you want to do things, you do, because there is enough time for everything now. And I
That's
have just taken out that maybe 30 minutes for my online learning class. So I do online learning. I'm taking up courses. So I get my 30 minutes for my upgrading my skills and just keeping my brain cells active, and an hour for working out. So that I stick to those timings, but the rest of the day it's very relaxed.
Got it. That's wonderful. And what are your tips? If I was to ask you, you have a wealth of knowledge with mindfulness, with yoga, and your laughter therapy. What would be some tips that you could give out for people who are navigating this very uncertain and gloomy time?
Okay. I would remind them that they have to continue to track their thoughts and keep themselves in this very moment, because when they tend to think about future, what's going to happen, they go into that anxiety zone where the anxiety attacks, and they are even unable to enjoy these present moments with their family members, because these moments are not going to come again. Like everybody is together with their families, spending very leisurely. There's no rush to go to work. So some of them are complaining about it, like children being around, I'm unable to work, but they should start to look at it positively and enjoy this present moment, and not to worry so much about future, because nobody knew that COVID-19 epidemic would have this effect on our lives. Nobody knew that, and it happened, right? People had plans, and so this teaches us to learn to enjoy this very moment, present moment. Right now here, my body, mind, my spirit is with you, having this conversation right now. What's going to happen after this discussion? What happened before that? No. So I have trained myself that way. So once someone does that, he or she will be able to really be present in the moment and enjoy it fully. Yeah.
That's such a wonderful piece of advice. Being in the moment, living and breathing the moment, instead of worrying about what next. Staying in the moment will be able to give you that control of the present time. And you'll be able to enjoy that present time, whatever you're doing, whether it's with you yourself, your own time, or it is with family and friends. Like I'm having this conversation, I'm enjoying it so much. Like all I can think about is, oh my God, I'm happy to be talking to you. So this is wonderful.
Thank you.
What can they do? Like, yes, we say that be in the moment, but for somebody like you and I, who has practiced meditation, who are trained in the mindfulness activities, it comes with practice. But for somebody who's starting out, the thoughts will wander. And even for us, sometimes, situations do impact us, and the thoughts tend to wander, and the mind plays games. And sometimes people say, oh, I can't sleep because I keep thinking about certain things. Well, I can't sleep because I just can't sleep sometimes. But what would you say would help if your mind is wandering? How do you bring it back?
So firstly, we must see thoughts as thoughts. Like one thought is coming, going, another one coming. So when we start to see thoughts as thoughts without adding on our emotions and feelings to it, we don't attach our emotions and feelings to it, thoughts are not harmful. See thought as a thought, let it go. If it's bothering you too much, you take a paper and a pen, your notepad, and write it down, crumple the paper, throw it away, or burn it. Or at least your mind will not be full of those thoughts, because it's repeated thoughts. That means there's a message for you. There's something that needs to be attended to, and you need to take action. You need to take action, and you are not taking action, so that thought is gonna like come and go, and like, so if it's too chaotic up here, then it's really important to train yourself to be in the present moment. Of course, I'll say that. So there are many ways you can do it. So number one will be see thoughts as thoughts. Like, do not really add your emotions, attach to emotions to it, and no feelings to it. Like, let it come. All right, it's just a thought. It doesn't bother me. I mean, it doesn't affect me, by the way. Okay, all right. There's another thought there. All right. Okay. And write it down. Yeah.
Okay. And once you have trained to that level where you are able to see the thoughts as an action point which is coming, and you're not emotionally getting involved with it, you're looking at it as an act of whether you're writing it down and you're putting it aside. Okay, I've written it down, I've put it aside. Now, what would be the next step? What can you do?
There's so much to do with time management, priorities in life. What are your goals, your vision? You need to know your why. So that's very deep when it comes to, like, now we're having this discussion. So it's all about knowing your priorities, setting them right, learning to say no, self-care, self-love without feeling guilty. So that you are in control of yourself, your thoughts are in control of yourself, and everything is in order, so that then you are ready to welcome any challenge and any people who are not being kind, people who are not being understanding, and they're not being patient. So you are then ready, because if you yourself are like in a mess, then you tend to get agitated easily when someone else comes to you and they are like not so in control of themselves. So in order for us to manage others, we need to make sure that we have learned how to manage ourselves. So I practice emotional mastery.
That's wonderful. Bringing yourself to a point where you're self-aware and you've set your priorities right. That's so wonderful. Have you seen around you any acts that make you feel that, yes, the humankind has come to a certain realization of acts of kindness, whether it's in person, small little deeds, or something big that you've seen in your community or on social media?
Oh, there are many stories right now, and people are feeling very sad, low, and depressed. There are many stories of people who are reaching out to the others, providing them with food. They are arranging for those food packets to be delivered at their doorsteps. In Singapore, many of us are very united, because SG united when it comes to how are we going to deal with this epidemic, and our political leaders are doing a wonderful job here. So we have total faith in them. There are still some of them who are complaining about it and all, but what I believe in is that if I don't see any acts of humanity around me, acts of kindness, I want to be the one to start it. So I had been practicing it. So if I see a cashier being very overwhelmed with the long queues and everybody being very impatient, and like people are hoarding and they are panicking, there's just panic attacks on buying things. So I just want to be nice to that cashier when she starts to scan and put in the plastic bag. That's that. Look, I understand how you're feeling right now. So like a week back, the cashier was able to hear me, and next week she said, cash or nets? I said, paywave. Cash. So I said, paywave. So she's like, sorry, I cannot hear you properly. So I said, it's taking a toll on them, their health as well. So I just want to be kind and nice to them by reminding them to take good care of themselves. I said, look, till the receipt is being printed, you pick up your water bottle, remove your mask and take a sip. It's okay. I am not going to say anything to you if you drink water. So when she does that, she's like, take a breather, and she was very thankful, saying, thank you for understanding me, that I have been standing here from morning like 6 a.m. and this is like 9:30, 10 a.m. non-stop scanning, putting the things that. So thank you for understanding me. Thank you for to be able to relate to me. So when I don't see any acts of kindness around me, or people are like not being human, I become that role model for others to start practicing. Although some of them don't want to practice right now because they are into like that chaos and panic. So it's okay. I just want to do good. So first is speaking to cashier kindly, and another senior in the bus was very cautious about wearing the mask. He's like, "Oh, I'm old, so I need to put on my mask because older people are more vulnerable to this virus." I was showing my mask to her in Mandarin. I said, "Can't walk, can't walk. I am also wearing it." So I made her feel comfortable about wearing a mask. I'm like, it's not only because others might pass the infection to us. If we might pass it to them, we don't know if we are getting a virus. So I made her feel comfortable when she was feeling uncomfortable wearing the mask. So these are the little things I do, yeah. And I continue smiling, although from the mask you cannot figure out, but I continue smiling at others. All of them are like so serious. Nobody, people have forgotten how to smile.
You know what? It's interesting that you saying that you smile at people, because when I'm doing my activities, my day-to-day, I tend to smile so much. Sometimes I say, when I smile, my eyes close, so they go into slits. Second, my jaw starts hurting. There are just so many times like by the time I'm tired of my face looking like that. But I enjoy it. That's who I am. It's okay. And yes, that's such a wonderful point you made. Sometimes that kind act needs to start from self. Why even wait upon others to do the kind act? But I do agree with you. There's a lot of in Brampton, Toronto, Mississauga, the whole of Greater Toronto area, for that matter, across the country. We've been seeing people, donating food or asking their neighbors or people in the condominiums whether they have food. Would they like to get them the groceries if they're seniors? Or for some people they have pets like dogs, dog walk. So they would ask, would you like us to take, if they're seniors, would you like to take us to take the dogs for a walk? And that helps, right? Small little acts.
Yeah. So we have enough supplies which can last for months for us. Like we don't need to really worry about groceries in Singapore. But people tend to have like, oh, what if? So that was happening, and everything is in order, I would say, in Singapore, because I'm also watching world news, so I know what's happening in the other parts of the world. Yeah.
No, for us, we've also been, I would say, it's been a very controlled scenario, and the political leaders have stepped up, and there's a lot of funds and services that have been put in place for people to be able to, the help that they need. So that has been done. So we are lucky to live in countries that have a setup which provides for you. So that's wonderful.
Just wanted to add on when it comes to act of kindness and humanity. So our political leaders were able to relate to people who lost their jobs due to COVID-19 epidemic, and they came out with a solidarity and resilience budget. So there are billions of dollars they have invested to help people financially.
Yeah, and that's true for here as well. That has happened here as well. There are emergency funds for people that have been set income for people who lost their jobs and stuff. So which is amazing to be living in countries, because there are other countries who unfortunately do not have those things to be grateful. So also gratitude comes into play here. We are alive, we are breathing, we have families, we have the resources.
Technology where we can still stay connected with people across the globe.
Absolutely. That's so profound. Tell me, how are you structuring your days? How are you making sure that the tasks that you do on a day-to-day basis do not get delayed or do not fall through the cracks? What are you doing to make sure that happens?
So planning nutritious meals, making sure that we take good care of my diet, my family members' diet, and secondly, taking time to exercise. Professional development, I have set time aside for online courses. So I had done 41 online courses. So I have been given LinkedIn Learning free for 1 year. So I'm learning every day, and most of the content I would say I have learned and applied, but I'm just like kind of revising and staying connected with when it comes to professional development, and very relaxed day, as I mentioned, but just setting some time aside to make sure that it shouldn't become too relaxed.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, sometimes it's just, having a mental note of the list of things to do and making sure, going and revising at the dinner, have I done everything that I needed to do? That's my way of at least doing it. I like to do my lists. That keeps me on track.
Yeah. And I'm very disciplined. I'm a very disciplined person, so I don't really need a lot of like reminders for myself. Of course, taking mental note is really important, and I have my list of things to do where I cross it out at the end of the day. I have my prayer of gratitude. I begin my day with thank you, universe, for letting me see another day, which in some people, they don't really take this as a blessing. They think, oh, another day, I have to work from home, these children and this and that. So they start their day like so grumpy, and I'm like, thank you, universe. Yeah.
That's so wonderful. That's very positive. Tell me about you. You constantly go out and do sessions, and you have speaking engagements. Has that changed in any way? Like, how has your work been impacted because of the situation? Has anything gotten cancelled and stuff?
Some of the conferences which were planned in Singapore and even other countries, due to COVID-19, the conferences are not taking place anymore. So some of the conferences are going to be switching to webinars.
Okay. So you will be doing webinars.
Yeah, so still can be done, no issues at all. So taking full use of technology, using it as a tool, not as not becoming a slave. Yeah. So
that's great. Yeah. That's good to know. If you could ask for something for yourself from this universe, what would that be?
Wow, that's a big one. I would like the total Earth's and people's consciousness levels to be higher, so that they don't see their failures and pain and sufferings as sufferings, pains, and failures, but as stepping stones and as something which is needed for them to grow, and they become peaceful and loving.
Wow, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. To grow their inner consciousness to the point where they're learning from their experiences.
Yeah, because I observe people are walking on this planet not knowing their purpose, their vision. They do not know why are they born. They just think that it's okay to just go to work, pay their bills and die. And they're spreading so much negativity around them. They are abusing the earth, just using all the natural resources. So I started talking about Earth's consciousness 7 years back, when I was like, come on people, don't do this. Thank you, Earth. They are hugging trees and planting trees and talking to my plants and stuff. So I just wanted few more people to be aware, so we can uplift to Earth's total consciousness levels and be kind to the Earth.
Yeah, this is what sustains us. So being kind to the earth is being kind to oneself, because that's the provider at the end of the day. What would be your piece of advice for people who'd be engaging with this content and looking at us engaging together, what would be your message for them?
All right, so do not postpone your happiness. We tend to postpone our happiness by saying that I would be happy if this particular thing happens. Like my son graduates from college, my daughter gets married, when my husband gives me a diamond ring or takes me on a holiday or something like that. All of us have different ways, reasons to be happy for. So I would say that do not postpone your happiness, because our stay on this earth is not permanent. So we need to make sure that we are mindful of that, and we are enjoying each and every moment and seeing each and every incident and circumstance as help. It's helping us to grow as a person. That's all. See it as an experience, learn from it, move on, and look up and go upwards and onwards. And do not live in the past. Don't become anxious of future. So when we start to do that, that's the way to live life. Then we start to see life as a celebration, not like yeah.
That's so sweet. That's so wonderful. I am so glad that we had the opportunity to talk. It's been so amazing. You're such an uplifting, energy-filled person. So, what is your favorite exercise? Because I have to ask you this. I know generally this is not a question asked, but I had to ask you, which is your go-to activity or exercise that you would recommend for people?
So I picked up laughter exercises from a local coach. Then I upgraded and I learned many exercises from people coaches around the world. So I am a laughter therapist who has designed laughter therapy. I'm a laughter therapist who has designed laughter therapy. Yeah, so yoga not really. So exercises, when it comes to, I conduct 100 types of laughter exercises.
Okay.
And with each exercise, there's a motivational message which I share. So when it comes to laughter exercises, you cannot be doing it after you have had your meals. It has to be done this way, that way. So there are parts of it like clapping, belly laughter. Then you need to make an eye contact with the person. So that's total. There's a lot of science behind it, and it has to be done in a setting where you don't have furniture around you and stuff. So my favorite part when it comes to exercise is conducting laughter exercises. I feel very happy when I conduct exercises, because people come to me with a lot of problems, like even slight pain in their shoulders and knees will be gone after they have attended the therapy. So that's the favorite part, yeah.
That's so that's so grounded. To be happy in another person's happiness, the whole process, you enjoy what you do. That's what you're telling me, and that's so amazing to have the ability to find your calling. So you found your true calling in laughter therapy and conducting those sessions. That's so amazing.
Yeah.
It's been so amazing talking to you. Is there any one last share that you want to do before we wrap this up?
Well, everybody just needs to be mindful of their actions, their words, because words carry energy, and even others' words are also, it has an impact on us. So we also need to learn how to manage our energies, our body chemistry, our brain chemistry. So there is so much to learn about how fascinating we are, like our anatomy, our brain, how beautifully we are designed. So it will be good to learn that, so that people don't feel helpless at any time of the day. So once they have learned, like, oh, look, God has designed me so beautifully, and I'm so powerful, and there is so much about me I have yet to find out, and look, I have found out. So that's very empowering. So that's why I call myself empowerment coach, because I get people to learn, understand how beautifully they are designed, and it's all about knowing and learning about it, and then feel powerful. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been such a wonderful conversation, full of energy, full of your vibrant smile and personality. I'm so glad we had the opportunity to talk. And I hope we are able to collaborate on many, many more occasions.
Please make sure to like and subscribe and ring the notification bell to keep updated with all our videos. Thank you.